It's time for the RMAC Radio Show, featuring all the latest information from around the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
There's nothing I like better than a nice, ice-cold Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
The RMAC is a proud member of NCAA Division II. Now, here's your host, Eric Danner.
You're like the Nick Saban of the RMAC.
Welcome to the RMAC Radio Show, week number 23. My name is Eric Danner. Another big show planned for you today. We got men's basketball here in segment number 1. And in case you didn't see the highlights over the weekend, Trevor Wages of Colorado Mines, the number 5 play on SportsCenter Friday night, shattered a backboard at Metro State. We're going to have Trevor on here in segment number 1, but that's more of a side story, as Metro State, number 1 in the country, now 21-0. And they are really the talk of NCAA Division II basketball. Segment number 2, we're going to talk about the first championships of the winter sports season this week at Colorado Mesa, the swimming and diving championships. We'll have the head coach of the Mavericks, Ron Allen, on in segment number 2. And then we'll wrap things up with women's basketball in segment number 3, as we're starting to get a good idea of who's going to be in the RMAC shootout. 4 teams have already clinched spots on the women's side for the RMAC shootout. But as we mentioned, we start with men's basketball, and the play of the year in terms of highlights has to go to Trevor Wages, who now joins us on the RMAC hotline. Trevor, how's it going today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Trevor. I imagine it's been kind of a whirlwind for you the last couple of days with your backboard shattering dunk. 6'9", 255 pounds. I've seen you play a number of times over the years, and you tend to dunk quite a bit. Have you ever broken a backboard before?
No, this is definitely the first time, and it's exciting that everybody's been getting excited for me and been able to share this event with me, because it's been great. It's been a great ride.
Talking with Trevor Wages, kind of take me through that particular play. It looked like you guys were in full court defense. Steal was made. You get the ball, and really nothing out of the ordinary for you to go up and try to jam it hard. What happened that made the backboard break?
Well, we're running an out-of-bounds play, and our point guard gets trapped in the corner, and so I come out for an outlet, and my guy, he is fronting me, he's denying my pass, so I get a spin move, and every time I get the ball, you know, it always seems like it's a higher percentage if you dunk it rather than try and lay it up. So I always go and try and dunk it, and it just was a perfect storm, and it just broke. So it's pretty cool.
Talking with Trevor Wages, junior center for Colorado School of Mines, averaging just over 16 points a game, which is good for 7th in the RMAC. He's also averaging 9.3 rebounds. That's 2nd in the RMAC, and shooting at a .552 clip. That's good for 3rd in the RMAC. Trevor, I've had the opportunity to break a few rims in my day, but was more in the driveway, on a 9'5" hoop, not on a 10-foot hoop in a game. When the actual rim started coming down, did you realize what was going on? And did you kind of, at any point, were you like afraid, that the glass was going to cut you, anything like that?
No, well, I went up to dunk it, and I saw number 4 on Metro, Nicholas K. He's coming to try and block it, so I kind of threw it down harder than normal, I guess. But I didn't have any intentions of pulling it down. And once I heard the rim snap and I was falling, it caught me by surprise, and then I was ecstatic and excited, and just started looking back at the crowd and my teammates with a big old smile on my face.
Talking with Trevor Wages, and at what point, Trevor, did you realize after that happened, well, we're not going to be able to continue this game. It's not like we're, the NBA here. We got a backup backboard ready to go. I mean, this is NCAA Division II, and that the game had to be postponed. And then, did you feel that might have, taken some momentum away from you guys? Obviously, I think Metro was leading at the time, but how did that affect, your thought process right after that?
Well, when we were sent back to the locker room, and we just waited for the news and didn't expect to play that night. Everybody was saying that they didn't have any rim, and they don't think it was going to be set up by the time. So we were all kind of expecting it to be postponed, but we certainly wanted to keep playing. We had a good thing going in our defense against Metro, and that kind of took away from our momentum a little bit. But you know what? Metro is a great team, and they just even on Sunday they just came out and fought hard. They're tough to beat.
Talking with Trevor Wages from Colorado Mines, and so you get not even halfway through the game Friday, then you got to turn around Saturday and play Regis. So that's a little different probably situation than you've ever been in. You know, we're going to finish up a game on Sunday from a game you started Friday, and then Regis is able to catch you guys and win 74-67. Then you finish up the game against Metro. They get hot. They started off with a dunk in that game. They win 74-58. So I guess, you know, it's great, all this accolades that you got, you know, Sports Center, everything like that. But I would imagine, knowing you a little bit, Trevor, that it probably takes away from it the fact that you guys lost 2 games this weekend.
Exactly. I was saying that earlier, that it's great to be acknowledged for one single play, but I would have much rather had that dunk not shatter the backboard and gotten the upset on Friday and pulled out a win Saturday. We just so I mean, it's great, and I'm not saying that I'm not happy about it, because it was a great experience, but to get those 2 wins would have been even that much more icing on the cake.
Talking with Trevor Wages, junior center from Chatfield High School, playing for Colorado School of Mines. And I guess the other thing that maybe a little danger of this happening, Trevor, is that you're going to be known as the guy who shattered the backboard, as we've seen in the NBA over the years. You know, it's pretty rare that this happens, but, you know, there's a handful of guys who have done it, and they're kind of all known for being the guy who shattered the backboard. I guess, how do you move forward to become, you know, the guy that's, you know, possible player of the year in the conference, or, you know, first team all conference guy?
Well, it's just, I don't really know. My game isn't just about trying to dunk it. I'm trying to be an all-around player, defensively, offensively, get the rebounds, get my teammates involved, and try and lead them for wins. And to be known as a backboard, I'm going to get heckled by the crowds and all that stuff, and it just kind of adds to the dynamic of the season so far. But overall, I don't want to be thought of as just a backboard breaker, but an overall, all-around good basketball player.
Talking with Trevor Wages, and certainly does have the numbers to back that up. 16 points, 9.3 rebounds, also 1.6 blocks per game. That's 3rd in the RMAC. 1.6 steals per game. That's tied for 7th in the RMAC. And we mentioned the .552 shooting percentage. And you got some big games coming up this weekend, Trevor, going up to Black Hills State for the first time. Then you play Chadron State on Saturday. And here you guys are, you know, in the midst of trying to solidify your spot in the RMAC shootout. So what can we look for from Colorado Mines this weekend?
Well, you can look forward to us coming out and playing as hard as we can and getting these 2 wins this weekend, because we know how important this road trip is for our postseason run that we plan on making.
Well, hey, Trevor, we want to thank you for taking some time out, and good luck the rest of the way.
Oh, thank you. It's been great.
All right, that is Trevor Wages. That was the number 5 play on Sports Center on Friday night, the shattering of the backboard. But as Trevor mentioned, he would gladly trade in that shattered backboard for 2 wins this past weekend, as Colorado Mines went 0-2. And for more on what happened this weekend, let's head over to Haley Lewis with our RMAC recap.
Thanks, Eric. Number 1 ranked Metro State continued their hot streak with 2 more wins. Against Colorado Mines, the talk of the game was the Orediggers' Trevor Wages busting the backboard on a dunk with 6:44 left in the first half. The game was postponed until Sunday, when Metro took the win 74-58. In between, the Roadrunners defended their home court against Colorado Christian 92-75. Brandon Jefferson scored 23 points to lead MSU, who now have a perfect record of 21-0. Colorado Mesa moves up to number 2 in the conference after surviving a scare in overtime against Black Hills State. CMU's Colton Bergen's 17 points and 10 rebounds helped the Mavs win 69-66. The following night, Mesa took care of Chadron State 68-37. Western New Mexico had a big weekend, knocking off 2 top 20 ranked opponents. First, Fort Lewis came up short 66-64. The Mustangs' Lucio Luttrell and Chad Carter combined for 45 points and 12 rebounds. The following night, Western surprised Adams State 74-70. Chad Carter led the way with 17 points and 11 rebounds. New Mexico Highlands also upset the Grizzlies 74-72. Lavelle McDade led the Cowboys with 17 points. Fort Lewis was able to get back on track against Highlands the following night, winning 83-74. Alex Herrera led his team with 22 points and 6 boards. CSU Pueblo protected its home court against rival UC Colorado Springs, final score 81-72. After Wages' dunk on Friday, Colorado Mines then lost to Regis on Saturday 74-67. Jarrett Green led the Rangers to victory with 23 points and 6 rebounds. Western State used home court advantage for a winning weekend, beating Chadron State 81-66 and Black Hills State 76-60. And Colorado Christian won at Regis 71-61. I'm Haley Lewis, and that's the RMAC Recap.
Thank you, Haley. The RMAC Baden Players of the Week offensively goes to Alex Herrera of Fort Lewis, sophomore center from Ignacio, Colorado, playing for the Fort Lewis Skyhawks, averaged 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks as the Skyhawks had a split on the weekend, but perhaps more impressively, 84.2% from the field, 16 of 19 from the field on the weekend. Congratulations to Alex. And Defensive Player of the Week goes to Chad Carter from those surprising Western New Mexico Mustangs. Had 5 steals. 3 of them were in the final seconds against Adams State in that win, 74-70. Also had 2 blocks in that one. So big game on the weekend was 2.5 steals, 1 block per game for Chad Carter, the RMAC Baden Defensive Player of the Week. Well, that does it for men's basketball. When we come back, we're going to talk a little RMAC swimming and diving here on the RMAC Radio Show.